Hey, so I wanted to run through a quick deck tech that I made. Recently just made a 4-color wheels deck, and I wanted to share that with you guys. Ludevic Necro Alchemist partnered with Ravos Soul Tender. Ludevic Necro Alchemist basically just use it as a draw engine. I don't really play the commanders that much. I mainly utilize them for the color purposes. I get to play in 4C. But Ravos does do some stuff, does do well with the Locust God, and does do well with returning some of the wheel creatures that I have, like Jace's Archivist and Magus of the Wheel. But I want to start off showcasing the land base. So we have Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, Training Center, and Ancient Tomb. I mean, those are just good cards in the deck. The deck is blue-red core, so having the one bond land that I have being a Training Center is quite convenient. And then we're running, I think, every single shock land. Steam Vents, Blood Crypt, Hallowed Foundry, Goblet Shrine, Sacred Foundry, Watery Grave. I'm running one Surveil land, Thundering Falls, since it's blue-red core. We're also running for fetchable items, both Triomes, Rogran Triome, and Xander's Ange. To get these, we're going to have to be looking at around 6 to 7 fetch lands, I would recommend. I don't really want to go over 7 because it's just not necessary. I'm running 6. I still need a Wooded Foothills, but we're running Bloodstained Mire, Flooded Strand, Polluted Delta, Scalding Tarn, Arid Mesa, and Windswept Heath. I also have 3 of the slow lands. I mean, these are just great in Commander. Stormcarved Coast, Haunted Ridge, Shipwreck Marsh, and I'm running 4 of the check lands, those being if you have a, land of the type, and since we have so many type lands, should not be a problem at all. So running 4 of those. I'm running 1 of each basic except for islands. So I've got 1 of each basic and 2 islands. Now to get into the meat of the deck, I have one kind of thing that just slows opponents down. Blind Obedience is good, especially when you're in a pinch and you need to extort. I mean, extort happens rarely, but Blind Obedience is a great turn 2 play, especially when you're looking to control before you get your wheel pieces out. And now we get into a removal package. So this deck is running heavy spot removal, or heavier than I would usually play. Usually I'd advocate for heavy counterspells, but now that we're in 4-color, we have access to things like Swords to Plowshares and Path to Exile. Also, Snuff Out is great because we have plenty of typal swamps, and it's basically just a free removal spell for non-black. Dismember, extremely underrated in Commander. Gets around indestructible, can just be paid for 1 mana if you pay 4 life. I think this is very underrated removal piece in Commander. Running Beholder's Fury, which is actually just a Drown in the Walk, but got the cool secret lair for it. It's not that good. I put it in because it can spot remove, it can also counterspell, and when you consider if you already have wheeled someone or already have made people discard, then it does quite well synergistically. Terminate, just straight up removal. Now we get into counterspells. So Stifle, it's used more than you think in higher power tables. Definitely would recommend including in blue decks. Offer You Can't Refuse, standard, because art. Good old counterspell, delay, Fierce Guardianship, Misdirection, and Force of Will for our free counterspells. For Wraths, we're going to be running Psych Rift and Toxic Deluge. I find that those are the best in these colors. Well, you could argue that Farewell is good, but I think that in my personal experience, Toxic Deluge for 3 mana has been pretty nice. Farewell is probably better, but I'd rather be able to board wipe and then still have wheel tactics, since a lot of the wheel payoffs are enchantments that won't die to Toxic Deluge. So for a draw package, we're looking at quite a lot of 1-drop blues. So Brainstorm, Consider, Preordain, Esper Sentinel, Ponder, Opt, Mystic Remora, Faithless Looting, Fairy Mastermind. This is going to be very good for wheels because you basically draw 3 extra when anyone wheels. Expressive Iteration, Frantic Search, Archmage Emeritus, Teferi's Ageless Insight, basically double our wheel draws. The One Ring, because fuck everybody. Yeah. Treasure Cruise, because I just hate making friends. Yeah, just just hate making friends. You'll see a lot of those cards in this deck. Dig Through Time. And now we get to our ramp package. So obviously for artifact ramp, we're running Soul Ring, Arcane Signet. Never had a mana crypt, by the way. Joke's on you. Felwar Stone. 5 talismans. Don't ask me why. They're better than signets. I will argue that. I will die on that hill. And for rituals, running Dark Ritual, Pyretic Ritual, and of course a Jessica's Will, because this is just busted. But the thing is with Jessica's Will and Fierce Guardianship is I don't really have like Ludevic or Ravos out that much, so to really get those payoffs, I mean, yeah, it's kind of suboptimal. Baral, great for the, I mean, we don't have too many counter spells in here, but it does make our wheels cost 1 less, and just our removal spells. Stormkiln Artist, this is a red-blue core. I'm going to be casting lots of instant sorceries, very good. We're only running 3 tutors here. I don't have a vampiric tutor or a demonic tutor since I've been playing a lot of red and blue in my lifetime, at least my time in Commander. So running Gamble, Mystical Tutor, Enlightened Tutor. Now we get to the core of the deck. We have our wheel payoffs and our wheels. So our main win con is actually going to probably be Bloodchief Ascension. I mean, this card is great. You're going to want to Enlightened Tutor for it as soon as you can. But yeah, for our payoffs, we're running Bloodchief Ascension, Waste Not, super underrated. Liliana's Caress, Megrim, which does the exact same thing. And for our own draws, Quasar Augur of Agonies. Great to have white in this deck. Originally it was a Grixis color deck. Decided to put white in because why not? I really wanted to play 4C, and I really wanted to play Partners because, I don't know, there's like some cool allure to that. And we're running good old Shieldred. Can't really read what she says unless you're like a super nerd or whatever. I can't read that shit. Shieldred. Smothering Tides. See, I just hate making friends. Like I just really enjoy being alone and generally lonely and depressed because I just fucking hate making friends. Anyway, cast Dissonant Mage. I would consider this a wheel payoff because you're able to cast a wheel and immediately cast it again if you for some reason don't hit another wheel. The goal is to hit wheel after wheel, but this kind of just ensures that. It's also just a great thing to have for removal in your graveyard as well as card draw. I mean, this is just a great card. Love Cast, one of my favorite Commander cards for sure. Nekusar the Mind Razor. If you play Commander, this should be pretty self-explanatory. The Locust God. This goes especially great with Ravos. As soon as I get Locust God as a payoff, I almost always play Ravos because it doubles the power of your 1/1s, and they all have flying and haste, so it kind of becomes a win, even off one or two wheels. Now for our actual wheels that are going to enable this deck, we're running Dark Deal, which is basically Windfall -1, Windfall itself, Chase's Archivist, Magus of the Wheel, which are going to pair well with Ravos. In case I lose them, I can always put them in my hand. This is unironically the most synergistic card in this deck because Cypher allows you to put it onto a creature and then you can wheel into a wheel as long as you hit. Another reason why Ravos is a great partner because he is flying. And you can wheel Whispering Madness, Cypher it onto Ravos, swing in, get a free Whispering Madness, and then just get all your payoffs ×2, basically for free. Love this card, it's a banger. Incendiary Command. Now the reason why I'm not running a ton of true wheels, for example, like shuffle your, well not true wheels, the one that shuffle and then draw 7, like Echo Vions, I have Echo Vions, but a lot of things like that, it's because my effects do trigger off of discard. So Megrim, Liliana's Caress, Bloodchief Ascension, they're all going to trigger off of discard, and Incendiary Command does have the mode that discards as well. Same thing with Reforge the Soul. I mean, this is a this is Wheel of Fortune on a stick. And yeah, we've got Echo Vions in case we run out of gas. You're mainly gonna want to Faithless Leading this away or just wheel it away. And if you don't hit into another true wheel, you can always just flash it back for 3. And yeah, that's about it. That is the deck tech. Let me know what you think. Bye bye.